Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Rooftop Perspectives. I am really enjoying myself up here. I'm not going to lie, it's so convenient just to walk upstairs and get on the rooftop and get a beautiful view. And I have to tell you that this has been the most relaxing Sunday ever. For some reason, this is where I want to be. During one of the morning shows last week, I spoke on how I took a walk over and kind of zigzagged through the town and the various houses and little places and nooks and crannies that are so different than New York City where I grew up. But the feel here has given me that forever feel that I always talk about. That feel that even if I came back here 1,000 years from now, which is not going to be the case as far as this place being the same, but you get the feeling that the place is so stable and so, how could I put it? It doesn't have this need to change. It doesn't have the greed going on to knock things down and build things up. This is where people live, and this is where people call home. Now, this particular part of Accra will change because things are creeping up from, I wouldn't call it downtown area, but some of the busier areas, the more affluent areas, and the mountains are here, the views are here. And we have a lot of tourists that come by and say, wait a second, these poor black people are living this good, mountains and houses on the side of the mountain. We have to come here and drive the prices up. They can't have it. This is what they do all over the world, whether it's Jamaica, where they take the hotels and they make the beach behind it private, and the people who live there, born and raised on the island, can't go. Just the people who are born and raised there just don't have a chance to enjoy what's naturally theirs. And when I go more up in the mountains, where I hope to be, it's a timeless feel. And it makes me know that, like, when I used to live in New York City, when I was much younger, it had a kind of timeless feel, which I knew it was destined to eventually change from that because of the corporate greed and the money and how things change that. And it pushes people out of those communities because those communities are destroyed. They did a good job destroying it with the crack and locking people up and the AIDS at the same time, which worked hand in hand. And sex workers were giving AIDS to people. They were dying. The addictions, the crime behind it. It ripped up a whole generation, and it left me always desiring to have that place where I can live, where no matter what, it's always going to be that way. That's stability, you know. And this place here, Ghana, gives me that, knowing that my bloodline comes from here. And even though I cannot trace it exactly to see the people that I'm related to, you know, being the fact of my lineage through Jamaica, I know that, like my father always told me, it was here, you know. And because of that, it gives me this peace that I never had. It's like a cell phone when it's on its charger. It's like a baby when the baby is in the mother's arms and suckling the breast. It's like a bird when it's in its nest. You feel as though you belong. And in America, when you're black, they always make it feel, and others, but this is my fight, they always make you feel like you don't belong, you know? And even though I don't speak the native language as of yet, I know a few words, but there's a gravity, there's a magnetism that gives me that forever feel. That being said, this message is not going to be long because the sun has just descended behind the mountain and it's going to get dark quicker. But we got to be careful, like how we perceive this thing, this artificial construct called time. Me, more and more, I'm trying to live in the moment. We know there's a future, we know there's a past. We know we have to plan for the future and show concern for it, not worry. But take some time and say, you know what? I'm not thinking about the past right now all the way. I'm not thinking about the future right now because really and truly all you have is now. That's all you have. Yeah, hopefully we have tomorrow, but it's not guaranteed. We know to deal with yesterday, we can't change it. We can only learn from it. And we can change the present according to how we moved in the past and the lessons that we learned from it. But how about living in the moment? And being in a place that has that forever feel is easier for us to do so because there's not anything tap me on the shoulder saying, oh, you got to get up in the morning and do this. And there's things I have to do. You know, that's never going to stop. But it's a different feel here. But no matter where you are, listen to what your spirit tells you about where you feel good, where you feel you belong. That sense of foreverness, that word that I made up. Maybe it is a word, I don't know. But I'm just expressing myself. But it is just so relaxing here to look over the homes and the mountains and the clouds and slowly relaxing. And like I said, I have one of my favorite Sunday night songs that I play, Sunday evening songs, that puts me in the mood that I'm in now when I see it. Even though I'm not playing the song, I can feel it in my soul. It's a song by the Daz Band, and it's named Southern Sunset. And I just, after a good relaxing Sunday, I did a few things. I cleaned up a few things, my work area, so I can have a better, more productive work week, since we'll be back on YouTube this Monday. But when I play it, it just brings me so much peace. And no matter where I am, I remember when I was driving the bus in Orlando, and sometimes when I would work Sunday nights, because, you know, being the fact I had some seniority to me, you know, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I was off, and I would work 4 days out of the week, but 11 hours, plus extra hours too. But when Sunday evening came, and if I happened to work late, doing overtime or one of my regular schedules when I first started, and the sun started to go down and that song came in my head. So it's the same feel. And it lets me know that no matter where we live all over the world, that black people, we do have a special connectedness to each other. But that connectedness is usually altered because of what has been done to us and what has been done to our mind, drug usage, gossip, alienating each other. You're American and I'm Jamaican and I'm from Canada and I'm, you know, who made these artificial boundaries that many of us arrogantly adhere to? We are one people, y'all. No matter where the slave ship dropped us off, many will say that trying to sound righteous, and they'll go right back into saying what you are and what this person isn't. We're all one. We are all one. We need to know that. You see, and what I don't like about the so-called mainstream media, when it comes time for a catastrophe to happen and all the other races are in trouble, they look at us like Superman to join their wars and be on the front lines of their wars, and they always tell us, we are one. Because the we are one mentality, when we join on with them with that, benefits them because we become the dookie stick to clean everything up. But when everything is cleaned up, they don't say that anymore. And even if they do say it, do they treat us that way? So we have got to understand that charity begins at home at first, and we have to have that we are one mentality amongst each other first before we can even go out and branch out to other people. Those who are exploiting us, using us, marginalizing us, and demonizing us in their media, but they want us to look at them and say we are one. And they love us when we say that, because you poor delusional Negro, you know no better. We're just using you. You're toilet paper to us. Nobody loves toilet paper after it's used. You flush it down the toilet now, don't you? Right? So me knowing this, I'll never really complain about those people or those oppressors. I'll mention them, but to complain about them and think that they are going to change and give me the kumbaya moment, that's don't even, to bring that up to me is an insult, you know, and don't even be one who looks like me and bringing that up. It's not going to happen. What we do need to do, though, we know we have enough coons who want the kumbaya moment with them, and we got to separate those amongst ourselves. But bottom line is that, you know, aside from them, you run with them and you run with the others if you want to. But let's begin by having charity at home. What's wrong with that? When I get paid, do I have to pay everybody else's light bill and me remain in darkness? When I get paid, do I have to fill up everybody else's refrigerator and sit up at night hungry? Is that the way it works? Well, it seems like we as black people always want to help everybody else out, be the first in line to want to help out, because it's only right that we help out. We want to be the ones to put ourselves last and everybody else first. And it never works out, now does it? Even when we try to put ourselves first, they come at us hard like it's a crime. You're racist. What do you mean you want black empowerment? And just like China Fox said on her video the other day, they talk about, you know, support black businesses, but when you do, like when she went to, what did she say she did? She was looking for a black mechanic, and Facebook took down her post and said that, you know, that's racist. But Facebook itself said support black businesses, and now you're looking for black businesses, but then they call you racist. They talk out of both sides of their mouth. Don't believe anything they say. Do for self. You can do for self, live in the moment, see what needs to be done, and work at it incrementally and slowly over time. This is how I built my platform almost effortlessly. I mean, I put a lot of sleepless nights in, but right now I have a heavy momentum that I can do anything I want to do with it, and I'm relaxed. I'm not creating in a tense way. I said, for a few minutes, let me come on up here and talk a little bit. Tomorrow morning it'll be something else, and tonight maybe it'll be something else. I'm expecting a few phone calls tonight. But that's the beauty of it. When you cut a path through time and space, because of your effort and your determination to get something done. It's almost like when you have these stock options or stock, how can I put it, not advantages, think like, say for example, you're on a job and they say, well, if you buy this amount of stock, we're going to match it, right? Well, that's what the universe does. When the universe sees that you're completely in on the commitment, and you say, no, I don't care how long it takes, I don't care how much effort it takes, I don't care what, I'm going to stay committed to this until it happens, and maybe I'll die before it happens, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And they feel and see that resolve, you are granted that bit where they match you. I remember driving on the bus route, and there was a light that was notoriously long, and I got right in front of it, and it started to change. I said, oh man, I'm caught by this light, I'm going to be sitting here for a long time. And most of the time that's the way it was. But I had one day where everything was resonating within me so smoothly, I was so positive, as I am most of the time. Even when I'm angry, I'm positive, okay? Even when I'm pissed off at something, I'm still positive to get something done. I might be pissed off at something, but I never forget what it is that I have to do. So I knew everything was geared in a centered way. I was feeling it. It's like a basketball player that knows it's going to set records and going to dunk the ball every time. You feel it in your soul. It's like a boxer who gets into the ring and knows that no matter what, I'm going to knock this opponent out easily. You know it. You know that you know that you know. You know you have moments like that. You know you have moments when you're off a little bit. But that particular day, I felt on. Now, for many years, that particular light would stop me. And it would stop me, and it was always long. This day, I was feeling so on. I was feeling so centered. And I was so positive that as I drove toward the light, half a block away, the light blinked, and it went yellow, and it went red. And of course it's red, I'm not going to go through it. I had passengers on the bus and driving this company's big bus, a lot of liability. I can't play games, but I slowed down, but I didn't slow down all the way because I looked at that light. I didn't say light turn on. I just knew that it was going to turn back to green. And for years, it never changed that quick, but as soon as I got near it, boom, it came. And for the rest of the day, I cut through the day like a hot knife through butter. You got to have that hot knife through butter moment in your anticipation of all things positive, especially when you've been putting out positive things to the universe. You must know that you're going to get your dividends back, and it doesn't always come when you want it, but it always comes back when you need it. Look back on your life. Think about all the things that frightened you and put fear inside of you, and things that were uncomfortable, things that you didn't know if they were going to turn out right or whatnot, but you're here now. And you may not be exactly where you want to be, but you're here. And if you have the time to watch this video and have an internet connection, you're doing better than most. And no matter how you feel, that doesn't mean that that's the reality, right? Feelings come and go, emotions come and go. I don't use emotions for anything else but for fuel. To fuel the task that must be accomplished every single day, a little bit at a time. So if you piss me off, I'm going to use that. If you make me laugh, I'm going to use that. Even if I'm sad, I'm going to use that to motivate myself. See, I'm a multi-emotion energy generator. Anything that comes my way, I can use it. Some people have to get angry and only angry. No, I can get motivated from laughter. I can get motivated from being horny. Most of us do. Most of us young men climb through third-story windows on a rope and jump from one roof to the other like a horny cat in heat or a dog in heat. And being aroused motivates you. Why can't you take that same type of energy, even if you're aroused or angry or whatever, and learn how to make it motivate you? Imagine you could take your sex drive and turn it around into motivation. As much as you may want to indulge in those activities. I didn't want to say the wrong thing. You know how YouTube is. Take everything that you have, your life force. Live in the moment and see what needs to be done. Cut through the illusion of what people try to put in your head on a negative way. And be leery of those time-released negative seeds that people put inside of you. They say things that are nice, but after a while it wears away and a negative part of that statement comes out. You know, a person may come to you and it may be true, or, you know, it may not be true. It may be somebody that you half know, or a friendly frenemy associate, and they say, hey Lance, you know, you've been doing good a whole lot, but you know, you've been losing weight, you've been trying to lose weight, you lost a lot of weight, man. Are you okay? And you know that you didn't lose any weight, you know you look all right. And they're showing concern, and they say, well, you know, I'm concerned about you. Let me know if you need anything. And you go on later on, what do they mean by that? They said, maybe, did I look sick to you? And did I lose weight? I mean, I know I need to lose weight, but, you know, maybe they thought I was sickly and maybe they see something that You got to be careful of who you let in your mind and who you let in your thoughts. See, I got a big head. Not because I think I'm all that. I physically have a big head. There's more room for the hard drive. There's more room for data. That's why I have more stores of memory. I got terabytes up in my head, right? I dream in 4K. You know, and there's an advantage to that because I do have a big memory, and I do watch movements, and as an artist I see things that most people don't see, and I can record them in my mind, the little glances, little instances. You know, I was on a video one time that I had set up, and there was somebody holding the camera, and there was a person who I now know is an enemy. And when I walked past that one person, they looked at the camera who they were close to, and I guess they had some dialogue on me, and they looked like because I said something, and they rolled their eyes funny. And I looked back at that video because it was pointed out to me. I said, yeah, that was an indication of what they were to be to me, or reveal themselves to me, or to be, you know? So those are the things I look at. Keep your life clean. Keep the energies burning. And I'm ranting. I'm just rolling. It's beautiful up here. Keep the energies rolling nice and clean burning, and pull yourself away. Give yourself that mental, emotional, physical tune-up. Clear your thoughts and get away from these energies that, even though they may have the outward appearance of being good for you, when you get away from them, you feel even better. You feel even lighter. You have more clarity. They're not trying to push you into an area to benefit you and use you. Do what you need to do. Do what's best for you. Do what makes you feel good. Go back into your purpose. What is your purpose? Is your purpose here just to serve everybody else and they use you and throw you away like a wet snot rag after a bad case of the flu? Yeah? Isn't that something? And when it's your time to need them, they're nowhere to be found. Or they just disappear quick. Okay, bye. You know what I mean? So you got to understand, and before I leave, not to sound gory, but you're born alone, you die alone. And really and truly, no matter how many people we have around us as an illusion to make us feel like we're not alone, we're still alone. Our path, our journey, what we have to learn, what we have to extract. We can't feel this, because I used to always want to connect. It's nice, and I do, but you can't connect with everybody. There'll be few who understand your wavelength. There'll be few who may know what your need for real love is. There may be few who will be able to take the intense love that you have to give. Not everybody can take the love that you give. Not everybody is worthy of what you have to give. They're not even compatible of what you have to give, because you're on such a high level and you go through your life lonely because, wow, I never felt the kind of love that I needed, and nobody ever understood me with the kind of love that I wanted to give. You're not compatible. You overload somebody else, or somebody else may not give you enough. Just vibrate the way you have to vibrate, and just focus on yourself, and all good things will come to you in time. Trust me, I know it. I'm living proof. Anyway, the sun's going down, the mosquitoes are coming out, and the lights, they just look so nice. I love it here so much. I'm so at peace, and I'm really ready to wind down, and I have that peaceful, I can wind down like a baby on the mother's breast kind of feel right now. But I'm going to stay up a little longer and do a few more things. But I just want to thank you all for the feedback, and thank you all for the participation and the motivation that you give me to continue on the different things that we share on this platform. And understand this platform is for you. And if you have any people that you want to interview, or you want to get on and talk about things, or we can whistleblow stuff and call out people doing bad on jobs and supervisors who are harassing you, or whatever it may be, we can talk about it, because we're going to talk about it in an uncensored, unbridled way, where we spit in the face of cancel culture and censorship, as always. But let me go on down here before they feast on me, and let me just say salute to my brothers, and much love to my sisters. LanceScurv out. I hope you enjoyed this short one. And we'll cook up some more stuff, and we'll be back on the morning show in the morning time. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much. Take care.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LanceScurv.com, and follow Scurv on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LanceScurv.